Turner's game for a 20-year-old to have that kind of game, both ends of the court. I guess just commenting on his play.
Well, he's had confidence, since last season, and as I mentioned earlier, he's worked his behind off all summer long on his game. It was unfortunate he had a setback with the concussion during training camp, and he's really playing himself back into shape and his rhythm, and learning the sets and our style of play this last week or so. But he's certainly a threat. We know that offensively with the pick and pop game, shooting the ball from the perimeter. Where we need him to improve is defensively, guarding the basket and defending at the 5. Tonight we made an adjustment, and this team tonight, showed resiliency, being able to adapt to everything that I thought, Rick threw at us with a small hybrid lineups, and Miles had to go from guarding a 5 to guarding Barnes. Had a big block in that game, and this kid just continues to improve.
The three-pointer he took at the end of regulation, was that the design play? Is that what you wanted?
No, it's a pick and pop play. We want him to make reads in that situation, whether to roll or to pop. I've told him if he has a good look from behind the three-point line, I want him to take that shot. He's been taking that shot this summer, and working on that shot. And I'm comfortable with him taking that shot if he is open out there. And tonight he stepped back and took a big 3 and knocked down a big shot for us.
How did you feel about your three-point defense in this game? I mean, had you scrambled.
We knew they were a team that had many lasers, and what we mean by lasers, guys who shoot 35 or above from the three-point line. All those guys can shoot the 3. Our game plan was to, defend the paint, but, close out to the 3s. They took 48 threes, and, we dodged some bullets there, I think, throughout the game where they missed a couple of 3s, but, they took 48 threes. I thought that kept them in the game. We're certainly going to have to do a better job of getting to shooters on the perimeter.
Nate, what's your philosophy on the Mavericks' last possession of regulation? It's one of those, do you foul or do you go? What is your philosophy on that?
We talked about that. Do we foul? Normally, I don't foul in situations like that. We prefer to play defense and make them shoot over the top. We saw an opportunity. We talked about the opportunity. If they were dribbling around, which they did, dribble around a couple of times in that pick and roll, it would be an opportunity to foul, but we hadn't practiced that, so we just stayed with our rules. Switch everything. We got mixed up on a switch, lost a guy, and they were able to knock down a 3, but we defend in that situation.
Where were the breakdowns? I mean, you got to be happy with 130-point scoring, but defensively there seemed to be a lot of breakdowns.
Yeah, communication. I thought communication was something that we talked about, that we're going to have to get better. And you say this to every team. Communication strengthens your defense. And I think one thing that all coaches want from their teams is to communicate out on the floor. There were some times when we were in blitz defense or switch defense, and we didn't talk and lost guys, and they were able to capitalize off of that. So communication, that was a tough team to defend. They're playing small. They got Derek at the 5, a guy who can spread the floor, pick and pop. And then they had 4 guards out there. So our guys having to adapt. I thought we did a great job. We had some combinations in there that hurt us, but we got the matchups that we wanted and was able to, win the game in overtime.